We're finally back home. But I don't see you here anywhere. Are you out doing something right now?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I stepped out to go do some shopping, so I am going to be away for a while longer, actually.
Oh, okay, I see. Well, have fun, I guess. I'll see you at home.
Shoot, right. I also have dinner plans with my parents later. But yeah, sorry. I thought you were not going to be home until later. What happened?
Well, yeah, that was the original plan. But then my mom said she wanted to leave early, plus the weather turned, so we just decided to call it.
The weather turned? You mean it got worse? But it's been sunny all throughout the afternoon.
You mean you really didn't notice anything? Oh, well, I'm impressed. Yeah, there were some mudslides and really strong winds, too.
Oh, really? I had no idea. I've been inside this department store the whole time. I must have just not bothered to look outside.
Well, it looks like it might get worse again later today, so Mom and I agreed to end our day early and I just came home.
That all makes sense. I'm sorry your plans fell apart, though. Were the two of you at least able to go see the play that you had tickets for? I hope that it was fun.
Yeah, we did actually. It was really, really great. And then we even went to a pretty fancy sushi place for lunch.
Oh, that sounds really good. It's been a while since I had sushi. What place was it?
It was this place that just opened and my mom read about in a magazine. It was really, really good.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Well, you have to tell me about what they had and maybe we can go. And also, I just wanted to say that I think you're doing really great, Melinda.
What do you mean by that, David? I didn't even do anything.
I just mean about how you're so good about spending time with your parents. But also how you sent that sweet fruit basket to my parents too. You just know how to make everyone happy.
Well, I'm just trying to give back to the people who have already given so much to us already, you know? Not just my parents, but yours as well. And if they really enjoy what I do for them, then that makes me happy too.
Yeah, at this rate I think my parents might end up liking you more than they do me. I just don't know how to please people like that.
Well, what if you did something like take them on a trip? I bet they would love to travel somewhere fun with you. I've heard that your parents have never really even traveled all that much before.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe I'll do something like that.
I think that would be great. You could all go on a family vacation and it would make your parents really happy.
Actually, the more I think about it, the worse of an idea it sounds. I mean, traveling with my parents. That is going to be so embarrassing.
Well, either way, it's still a really good present. And I'm sure you'd enjoy yourself on a fun trip. Isn't that the point of all this?
I guess, but I can't just tell my parents that I'm taking them on a trip all of a sudden. If anything, they're going to think that I've done something wrong and I'm trying to hide it.
You really think so? Well, even so, I'm sure that they'll be grateful for the present once they've realized nothing else was happening.
I don't like it. Maybe a daughter could get away with that, but not a son like me. They wouldn't buy it.
I don't think that it has anything to do with that, though. And why do you think anyone would suspect you of anything? It's just a nice gesture for your parents.
I know, but planning a whole trip is such a pain. And for 3 people, too?
Well, sure, it isn't the funnest thing in the world. But you implied to me that you wanted an idea of something you could do for your parents.
I guess so. I don't know, though. I still have my doubts.
All I'm saying is that our parents are getting up there in age. Everyone may still be healthy, but we never know when something might happen. I just think that if you could go on this trip with your parents, that it might be a good memory to have with them for you as well.
Okay, I get it. Jeez. Just let me think about it, okay?
Hey, David, I just wanted to let you know that I was going to go to my parents' house for this afternoon. I don't think that I'm going to be home in time for dinner, though, so you're going to have to fend for yourself tonight. Sorry.
You're going to your parents' house tonight? What's going on? Did something happen?
Well, my dad is in the hospital.
He is? So something did happen. What is it? Did he get hurt? Is he sick?
I'm not sure. Apparently he just started feeling unwell last night and they had to rush him to the hospital. He's been there since last night. I thought he was so healthy. How did this happen?
So then, how's your dad doing? Is he okay?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. They said he would probably have to stay at the hospital for a few weeks.
Oh, whew, okay. Well, that's a relief. I was getting worried there for a second.
I mean, it isn't like he's in critical condition or anything, but it does seem like this might pose some more long-term health problems for him. I would really like it if you could be there to see him. It would make me feel so much better.
Well, I'm not sure if I'll be able to take the day off. I won't be able to go in until work is over.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm not sure if visiting hours will still be happening then. But if you have some time to, I would really appreciate it if you could visit him.
Of course. And I'm really sorry that you're going through all this right now.
Well, it is what it is, I guess. But I'm probably going to be going back and forth from my parents' place until my dad is released from the hospital. I kind of have to, since you know that my mom can't drive and the hospital is so far from where they live.
Wow, that sounds like a lot to deal with. But of course, I don't mind if you do that. Is your job going to be okay with that?
Well, I talked to my boss about the situation, and they said that they were okay with me leaving a little early each day. But I have to go to work even earlier instead.
Ah, I see. Well, it's a good thing that your office is so flexible with that.
Well, I'm only working part-time, so I'm sure it's not a big deal for the company. But since I'm going to be driving around so much, I don't think that I'm going to be able to do as much work around the house.
Well, that really can't be helped, can it? But the timing really couldn't be worse.
The timing? What do you mean? Do you have something going on?
Well, I was just about to go take my parents on their trip, so I was going to be leaving soon.
Wait, really? You mean you think you're going to take them somewhere?
Yeah, I was thinking of going somewhere abroad, but now that your dad is in the hospital, this might not work.
Especially if you're going to be all the way in another country.
I know, but this is the only time of the year that we could all go. Otherwise, they'll be too busy for the rest of the year and won't be able to go. This might be the only time my parents ever get to leave the country in their whole lives. But now that your dad's in the hospital, I guess that it would be really rude to go on the trip, huh?
Oh, I know, but it sounds like you really want to go on this trip with your parents. I'm really sorry all of this is happening.
Do you remember telling me that our parents aren't always going to be healthy and able to do stuff with us?
Of course I do. We just talked about that the other day, before this happened.
Well, those words really stuck with me, and now this has happened to your dad. I mean, everyone gets sick. No one knows what tomorrow is going to bring them. You just really can't take anything for granted, can you?
I guess you really can't, can you? You really never know what's going to happen.
I have no idea when something like this might happen to my own parents. I mean, your dad loved to mountain climb, and even he got sick. If anything happened like that to my parents, I doubt that they would ever be able to travel after that.
You might be right about that, actually. Maybe you should just go on the trip with your parents. I'm sad that I won't be able to go, but I hope that the three of you have fun.
Are you sure about this? I mean, I could also just give my parents their tickets and let them go without me.
You could do that, but like you said, it would be their first time abroad, and I'm sure that they would want you there. Oh, please, David, just take the trip with your parents. My dad's condition isn't that serious yet. I'm sure you could go and come back.
Thank you so much for this, Melinda. This really means a lot. I promise to bring back lots of souvenirs to everyone.
I really wish that I could go with you. But I hope that you have a good time with your parents. Make sure to make a bunch of good memories with them. And have enough fun for all of us back home here. David, my dad passed away.
Wait, no. How could that be? What happened? I thought you said he was doing okay.
He was, but then this morning his condition suddenly worsened. Mom and I rushed to get to the hospital, but it was already too late.
Melinda, I'm so sorry. This all has happened so quickly. I don't know what to say.
I'm just shocked. I feel so confused and torn up inside.
I understand, Melinda, but be strong for your mom. I'm sure she needs you right now.
She was a huge mess when we got to the hospital. It took me a while to calm her down. She's on the phone with the funeral home right now. I was gonna start calling relatives and letting them know.
I still just can't believe it. I mean, how did it happen this quickly? You said he was going to be out in just a few weeks.
I know, I thought so too, but the funeral is going to be in a couple days, apparently. Are you gonna be back by then?
I really don't think I will, actually. I mean, the flight back is already going to be over 10 hours, and that's assuming there are no delays or problems with the plan at all. Plus, I might not even be able to get the tickets to go back right now.
So, then you're not going to be able to be at the funeral?
I really don't think I can. I'm so sorry about this.
Well, it sounds like this really isn't your fault at all. I mean, you're abroad, and I shouldn't have expected you to be able to come home so soon.
Besides, if I tried to leave now, then I would be leaving my parents all alone, and I don't think that they would want that. It's just all so sudden, you know?
No, I really do understand. And thankfully, I think I can call on relatives to help me out. My brothers are already here to help arrange things with the funeral.
Oh, they're there too? Well, that's good. I'm glad you're not alone.
I'm just sorry about this. I bet that I've totally ruined your trip. I hope that you can still manage to have some fun.
You didn't do anything like that at all. And if anything, I should be the one who's sorry. I mean, I can't be there for you at this critical time in your life. Maybe I should have never taken this trip. Either way, I'll try and look into coming home early if I can.
I know, but I don't think we can really blame ourselves for this. I mean, who could have guessed that this would happen?
I know, but still, I'm just so sad that I couldn't be there to say goodbye to your dad. And then to not even make it to the funeral?
But it isn't your fault. I mean, just the other day, my dad seemed as healthy as he can be. Everyone thought that the doctor was right and that he would be out in a matter of weeks.
But then for this to go and happen? I guess you really just never know what life is going to throw your way next.
It really is true. So that's why you should make the most of this trip. We never know when we'll be able to do things like this again.
I suppose you're right, yeah. I know that if I didn't take my parents on this trip and something happened that would have prevented them from going, that I would regret that as long as I live. I really am happy that I've been able to be here and spend so much time with my parents. You were right about going on this trip. Hey Melinda, I'm just checking in to see how things are going for you. And I wanted to say again how sorry I am that I can't be at the funeral with you today.
Oh, that's okay. Thankfully, all is well and there was no incidents or drama. I had a lot of help from my relatives too, so I would say that everything went about as smoothly as it can for a funeral.
Please give them all my thanks for being there for you when I couldn't.
I'll make sure to let them know how grateful we both are to them, don't you worry.
Well anyways, I also wanted to let you know that I finally got a ticket back home, and I'm going to be taking the first flight back tomorrow morning. Then, once I get back, I can help with whatever you need from me. I wasn't there for you for all of this, but I want to be there for you now.
You finally managed to get a ticket back here? Well, that's okay, you don't have to come back early. Why don't you just keep enjoying your trip?
Wait, what? Melinda, please. I really am sorry that I can't be there for you right now, but you don't have to take that tone with me.
It's a text, there is no tone. But I'm not taking one with you, I really mean it. Do not bother coming home.
You mean like, at all? But why? I don't understand. Did something happen? Why does it seem like you're mad at me all of a sudden?
I'm not mad. I just wanted to let you know that once you get back from your little affair, that you won't even have a place to come home to.
My affair? What are you talking about, honey?
Oh, don't you honey me. Are you telling me that you aren't having an affair with that old classmate Vicky of yours? This must have been quite thrilling for you since the two of you were both married.
Wait, no. I really have no idea what you're talking about. I didn't do anything like that at all.
And here I thought you actually cared about spending time with your parents. How did I ever trust you?
But it really isn't a lie. I really have no idea what you're talking about.
Well then maybe I should ask your parents, since they were at the funeral as well.
Wait, they were?
That's right. Even your parents were kind enough to come to my dad's funeral, but not you.
But I don't understand. Why would they show up to something like that?
That's what I want to know. I was under the impression that they were busy traveling with you. But they told me that they knew nothing of any kind of trip anywhere.
But why would the two of them go to your dad's funeral? It doesn't make sense.
What are you talking about? Our parents stay in contact with each other. My mom told them what happened. Did you really forget how long our families have known each other? We grew up around the corner from one another. I think it's pretty natural that your parents would be told about my dad's passing and then show up to his funeral.
I don't believe it. I just don't even know what to say.
Well, you better think of something a little better than that for your sake. Now, start explaining.
And how'd you find out about Vicky?
Well, I was using your tablet while you were away, and you happened to leave your reservations open on the browser there. And that was when I saw only 2 names. You and Vicky.
So then that's it. You saw it all then.
That's right. Now let's stop with all the lies. I've already told Vicky's parents about what she was doing with you.
You did what? But how did you even get in contact with them?
Well, since we all went to school together, there were some mutual friends of ours at the funeral. I asked them if they knew how to get in contact with her parents, and then I told them. But I had no idea that she was married. That's gonna create quite a mess. I heard that they told her husband right away, and he called Vicky. Have you not heard anything about that at all? Her husband and parents know all about you.
Well, what about my parents? What do they know?
Everything. And they're just as mad as Vicky's parents. You should have seen how disappointed they were about this. I told them all about the trip I suggested you go on, and how you used that as a lie to try and trick me. Ugh, you're so pathetic. Do you even realize that?
No, please, you don't understand. This has to be some kind of mistake. I mean, I never thought I would get found out like this.
If you didn't want to get caught, it's because you knew that you were doing something wrong. Honestly, you're just the worst. So, anyways, again, don't bother coming home. In fact, you might not even want to, the way the rumors about you are spreading.
And just what is that supposed to mean? Who all knows about this?
I would say everyone that matters. Our family, relatives, and then whoever else they talk to.
Oh no. This is really, really bad.
You think you have it bad? What about me? My dad just died, and then I have to find out that you're cheating on me days before the funeral? You lied to me. But even after taking the shock of your affair, I still had to go through this funeral on my own.
I'm so sorry. I really did want to go home early, but it just wasn't a viable option. I'm sorry that this happened.
I don't believe a word you say anymore. I looked into flight delays around where you were staying, and there was nothing. There was no reason you shouldn't have been able to buy a ticket sooner.
You mean you went so far as to try and look in on what I was doing?
That's right. I was just so worried about why you couldn't come home that I looked it up myself. Did you really not want to come to this funeral so badly?
No, it isn't like that at all. It was just that the day of the funeral overlapped with reservations at this really famous restaurant, and I really didn't want to lose those plans.
So you thought it was more important to have a fancy dinner than be there for my dad? I don't even know what to say to that. But anyways, I have my half of the divorce papers signed and waiting for you whenever you come back.
You can't mean that you really want to get a divorce, right? Can't we just talk about this?
There's nothing left to talk about. Enjoy the rest of your trip. I hope you're ready for everything waiting for you back here.
Please, I'm so sorry for lying to you. You have to believe that I really do want to take my parents on a trip, and I really am going to break things off with Vicky. Please, I never meant to cheat on you.
You might as well save your effort and can it with the begging. I don't want to hear one word of it.
I'm telling the truth, though. I'm sorry for everything. I had no idea that your dad was going to die. If that didn't happen, none of this would have happened.
Do not disrespect my dad by blaming his death on what was really your stupidity. And accept that we are getting divorced.
Wait, hold on, please. You have to forgive me. I don't want a divorce.
And how do I know that that wasn't a lie either?
It really isn't. I'm telling the truth. Please, trust me.
Even yesterday I wasn't thinking of divorce. But now that I've had more time, it's the only thing that I can think of. But it's like you said, I guess you never really can guess what life throws at you. After that, David flew back home as soon as he could and was greeted with a stern talking to by his parents. Well, it was more like a grilling than anything. Vicky was also treated to her berating when she returned home. I followed through with my promise of divorcing David and sued him and Vicky for their affair. Given that we live in such a small town, though, it wasn't long before just about everyone knew what those two had done. They couldn't stand the social pressure anymore and one day just left town. I have no idea where they are or if they're even together now.
Hey Rachel, how's my mom doing? You went to visit her in the hospital again today, didn't you?
Yes, Henry. She's just the same as always. Just by seeing me, she goes into a foul mood. And then, of course, she starts complaining.
That does sound just like her. I guess she must be feeling just fine then.
This isn't something to joke about. Remember last time when I was overworked and collapsed from exhaustion? She didn't even have a shred of remorse for that.
Wait, what? Why should she be remorseful of that? What does you collapsing from exhaustion have to do with her?
Of course it has something to do with her. Do you know how much she always puts me through?
Well, I guess there's a bunch of things that you do for her, but don't you think it's going a little too far to blame all of that on her directly?
She uses me for errands and chores all of the time. Just because we live kind of close, she always calls me up demanding that I do something for her. And then she just continues to complain about me to my face whenever she sees me anyway. I don't think I'm going far in blaming her at all.
But it's not like she was doing that with bad intentions. She just wanted you to help her out with some things. That's just the way she shows affection.
That's what she calls affection? Honestly, it was at the point that when I heard she was in the hospital, I thought I could finally have some relief. No more endless errands every single day.
Come on, that's too much. You shouldn't feel happy about someone ending up in the hospital. Anyway, enough about that. How did everything go today? You were supposed to meet and talk to the doctors today, weren't you? What did they say?
Well, how about that? It seems that even after she leaves the hospital, she won't be able to manage on her own anymore. Someone is going to have to take care of her.
What? Really? Like a full-time nurse?
Yeah, it's partially because of her age and partially because of her physical condition. But they said that this entire time that she's been in hospital, she has barely moved from her bed. And it looks like this will just continue as it is even after they give her the all clear to go home.
Man, I don't believe this. We're in a bit of trouble if we have to pay up to hire a full-time carer so suddenly. What did my mom say to that?
She said that she'll leave all that up to you. It seems like she herself understands how bad her current situation is, so she's not even fighting the news. She seemed almost meek when talking about it. Of course, when it comes to me, her attitude hasn't changed a bit, though.
Really? She said she'll let me take care of everything? In that case, we don't have anything to worry about.
Really? You have some kind of idea? In that case, I can rest easy knowing that you have it sorted.
Why are you acting as though it has nothing to do with you? You're obviously the one who's going to become her carer.
What? I have to do it?
Yeah, that's obvious, isn't it? I'm at work during the day, so I can't be much of help. So, apart from you, who else could it be?
I know that you have work and all that, but still, you know that your mother hates me. That's why I've been having such a hard time recently.
It'll be fine. You just said that she has become a bit more weak than she was before, right? So I don't think things will end up like they did last time. It'll be fine.
Did you even listen to what I said before? She might seem more meek than before, but her attitudes towards me is still exactly the same. She still hates me and acts exactly like she did before. Caring for her wouldn't be good for either of us.
Come on, don't back out of this before you've even tried. Once you do it, you'll see that it'll be different this time.
And if I do start to care for her, what are you gonna do? Don't tell me that you're gonna leave absolutely everything up to me.
Don't say it like that. While you're caring for her, I'm still out working, aren't I? Things are just as difficult for both of us in that case.
Oh, give me a break. I can't look after her when she takes this kind of attitude with me. What, do you want me to collapse from exhaustion a second time?
I'm telling you that there's nothing to worry about. It'll all be fine. So just pretend everything is fine and do it for a bit. Then you'll see that it's fine.
It's easy for you to say since you're not the one who'll be doing anything. You always act like you don't care about me at all. I'm your wife, you know.
Of course I care about you. But this is the situation that we have right now. So what else is there to do? I know that it'll be extra on your plate, but I'm leaving it up to you. Hey, I just finished work. I had to stay late again. It's been tough recently. How about things on your end? How's Mom doing?
I can't stand this anymore. I really can't. Sorry, Henry, but can we please just hire a professional for this?
What are you talking about? You've been able to manage up until now. It hasn't been that much of a problem for you to be with her until she goes to sleep. I don't understand what the issue is.
It's not that I'm specifically worried about her at night or anything. Actually, I'd like to hire someone who can look after her during the day as well. I know that it'll be expensive, but can't we do anything about this at all?
That would just be a waste of money, so no, we can't. And anyway, you've already been doing it for a month. Haven't you gotten used to it by now?
It's not about getting used to it or not. This has nothing to do with time. She herself doesn't want me to be her carer. She is constantly acting up, and thanks to that, I feel like I'm the one who's going to start having health issues soon.
What do you mean she's acting up? She's just acting the same as usual, isn't she?
Any single moment that she has free, she just constantly complains and gripes to my face. Sometimes she even throws things at me.
Throwing stuff isn't good. That sounds dangerous. But everything else is the same as it's always been, isn't it? So just ignore her words. You don't need to pay attention to that kind of stuff.
That's not the point. I am seriously at my limit here, Henry. I'm going to overwork myself and end up in hospital again for sure.
My mom's situation has changed for her a lot too, you know. She can't do things on her own as she used to. But despite that, you're taking this kind of attitude towards her? She's the one who is really suffering right now. Think about things like this properly.
If you think she's suffering so much, then why don't you look after her? Why do I have to do it all on my own?
I told you before, I have work. You would just be at home doing nothing if you didn't have her to care for. Don't try and lump us together. I'm not just chilling at home doing nothing all day, you know.
Why can't you just help out on your days off at least? Or if that's too much, then help me out with some of the cooking and the cleaning. It doesn't matter what, but I need you to help me out a little bit somewhere.
I told you that you're responsible for my mom and for the house. That's your job, so you take care of it on your own. Why do you think that I should have to come home from work and then do even more? Don't be so spoiled.
It's easy for you to say because you don't know how bad it is. If we changed places, you would see just how hard it is looking after her all day.
It's not hard at all. I bet you just don't know how to do it properly, so everything seems more difficult. And that's why you start complaining about all of this.
But she complains about every single thing I do. Today, she threw all of the food I cooked for her onto the floor and told me that she would rather eat dog food. Or she'll keep complaining after I clean that everything is still dirty and make me do it again. It's the same thing every single day. I really just can't bear it any longer.
See, that's what I'm telling you. It's just the way you do things that's wrong. Whether it's cooking or cleaning, it sounds like you're not doing it right.
Then what am I supposed to do? I am doing everything as I normally would.
Well, Mom has her own likes and dislikes, right? So, instead of doing everything your normal way, you should do things in her way. That way she won't complain as much anymore because everything will suit her more. Just try and think of things from her position too.
Why do I just have to sit here and hear things like this from you? Do you really care about me at all, Henry?
Yep, there it is. Stop with this, will you? Every single time something happens, you start asking me that question. Stop acting like a little child. Asking me that is the same as complaining about me.
Are you telling me that I'm in the wrong?
I'm saying that you're not the only one who has it tough right now. I'm overloaded with work and worried about my mom's health. But you only think about yourself and come to me about how hard everything is. It's really annoying.
I see. So you think that I'm annoying?
Everyone is struggling in their own way, you know? Don't act like some tragic character who's the only one going through something. All you do by doing that is burdening those around you even more.
I see. You're right. I was wrong. I guess that acting like this must make your mom feel even worse than she already does.
Exactly. I'm glad you were able to see it. Instead of gritting your teeth and feeling like you were condemned to look after her, try just doing it with a smile. That will be better for both of you in the end.
Right, I got it now. From tomorrow, I'll follow your advice. I'll do things in her way. And of course, I won't forget the smile.
I'm glad to hear that. You know my mother and I are both relying on you here. So I'll say it again, but I'll leave her care to you.
Oh, that makes me so happy to hear. I'll make sure to fully meet your expectations. I'll keep doing my best, okay?
Hey, where are you right now? Why aren't you with Mom?
I needed to step out for a bit to do some shopping. But how do you know that anyway? Are you there right now?
She called a little while ago and asked me to come down and check on her. I was in the middle of my break, so I just had just enough time to come from work.
Oh, I see.
But what's going on? I don't understand.
What do you mean? Did your mom do something?
No, she's here crying about how she doesn't want you to be her carer anymore. But even if I ask her why or what happened, she won't tell me. What did you do?
I just did as you suggested before, remember? I've been doing things as she would do them. And of course, all with a smile.
There's no way you're doing things exactly as she wanted.
What? Of course I am. I'm not lying about anything. Why do you think I am?
If you did everything as she asked, then she wouldn't be crying. No matter how you look at it, an elderly woman crying means that something is not right. Seriously, what did you do?
Look, even if you ask me that 100 times, I'm telling you that I just did things exactly as she asked.
Enough with that. Just hurry up and tell me what you did. And there's no point in lying. I'll know straight away if you do.
I'm telling you that I didn't do anything that would upset her. She said that she would prefer to eat dog food, so I gave her some. And she said that I'm so bad at cleaning that I might as well not do it. So I didn't. See? I did everything exactly as she said.
What? Are you being for real right now?
Yeah, I am. Is something the matter?
Of course there is. Why are you even asking that question? You gave her dog food to eat.
Well, she was the one who said it would be better than my cooking. Everything I did should be exactly to her liking. She was the one who told me what to do after all.
Are you an idiot? That's obviously just a figure of speech. Why did you take things so literally?
Huh? Because you told me to. You were the one who told me to do things exactly as she said.
I obviously didn't mean that. What else did you do? Did you do anything else like that? If you did, tell me right now.
Let me think. Oh, yeah! She told me that I was a spineless worm who would never talk back to anyone if they were speaking rudely to me. So I made sure to really tell her what I thought of her when she started being rude. You should have seen her face.
What are you thinking? What are you trying to do here? Who do you take my mother for?
Your mother is your mother. I haven't treated her as anything else.
Then why did you do this to her? This is going way too far. Can't you tell the difference between right and wrong?
I'd like to ask you the same question.
What? Me?
Every time your mother harasses me, you just sit there smiling. And when I was in the hospital, did you care about me in the slightest? Of course you didn't. What is it that you take me for? The two of you are always treating me like crap.
What? That's not what we're talking about right now, though, is it? We're talking about what you have just done.
Why is it okay for the two of you to hurt me? But when I fight back even a little bit, suddenly it's not okay? Why is that? What right do you have? If you can explain that to me, then start talking.
I'm saying that these are two different situations.
How are they? It's the same thing. Come on, explain to me why it's only bad when I do it.
Whatever. I've had enough of this. Anyway, just don't do anything like this again. What will we do if her condition gets any worse?
I'm sure she'll be fine. But anyway, I won't do it again. I got it all out of me. I promise it won't happen again.
I hope you're being sincere here. If you do end up doing it again, it won't end like this.
Don't worry. I was able to get all my negative emotions out. I have no intention of having anything to do with you two. So, let's bring everything to a close here, yeah?
What do you mean you won't have anything to do with us?
Well, I'm talking about getting a divorce. So, of course, I will no longer be caring for her anymore. That's why I won't do it again.
What? Are you being serious about getting a divorce? Why all of a sudden?
You think this is sudden? I've been thinking about it for quite a while now. I was just hoping that the two of you would change someday. That was the only thing keeping me from doing it earlier. But it's clear that neither of you will ever change.
Wait, just hold on a second. Why do we have to get a divorce?
Why shouldn't we? I should have divorced you when I was admitted into the hospital that time. What's the point of being with someone who never cares for you or helps you in situations like that?
Okay, I'll admit I was wrong back then. But that was then and this is now. Why does that have to lead to divorce? Who's going to take care of my mother if you go?
You do it yourself. We are going to be complete strangers very soon, and I don't plan on coming to the rescue of complete strangers.
Quit messing around. Do you think I'm going to forgive you the horrible things you just did to my mom? And now you're going to try and run away by getting a divorce? I won't allow it.
Well, if you put it that way, I guess it's fine. If you're really so against the divorce, I take back what I said.
Wait, really?
But in return, I'm going to continue to care for your mother as I did today. And if you don't like that, then I'll have nothing to do with her and you can look after yourself. Oh, and of course, I'm not going to be doing any housework at all from now either.
What are these conditions?
Conditions for me staying with a man like you.
Just wait a second here. What are you even talking about? Who would agree to anything like that?
Well, in that case, there's only divorce, I guess. I don't really care either way. Why don't you choose?
Neither one of them is a real choice.
But you do still have to choose one of them. So, which will it be? Whichever one you choose, it'll end badly for you. After that, Henry chose to get a divorce and we separated like that. Luckily, he had lost any fight he had within him to stop the divorce once I told him the conditions on which I would stay, and the divorce was fairly simple and quick. I don't have any interest in what the two of them are up to anymore, but of course some rumors always filter through mutual friends and the like. Since I was no longer around to look after Henry's mom, he had to take on all the work by himself. He always refused to help me do anything at all, but in the end, he had to go to work, do the housework, and care for his mother all on his own. Doing just the latter two was hard enough, so I can't imagine what kind of miserable life he is living right now with having to go to work as well. Even after I left, his mother's attitude didn't change, and their relationship began to worsen. They still live together, but are not getting along at all. On the other hand, I have finally been freed from that hellish household and am living my life comfortable and relaxed, all on my own. Up until now, I had to use all of my time for other people, but from now on, I'll use it to focus on myself. Ben, are you on your lunch break already?
I am. Did you need something? Mom, you're not going to ask me for more money, are you?
You don't need to sound so annoyed. It's not like I'm borrowing it because I want to.
You're not borrowing it, you're just getting it. You haven't given me any of it back even once.
I'm doing my best to economize as much as I can, you know. But as I get older, if something happens, I need more money than before. I have to go to the doctors for regular checkups and treatment. And recently the cost of living has gone up quite a lot, hasn't it?
You always say that. If you know that you need to use more money for your checkups and the rest of it, why don't you try and work a little bit yourself for it?
Oh, don't say that. I can't be working with my body in this state.
You say that, but there's nothing wrong with you. You just feel tired and lethargic on some days.
I get migraines too.
So do I. In fact, my wife gets them as well. A lot of people get migraines, but they still go out and work.
Oh, that may be true, but I'm old. It's not the same for you young folk. When I get a migraine, the pain is so bad that I can't get out of bed.
I understand that, but even if you get a part-time job and work for just 2 days a week, that would help you a lot financially. How about it? If you tell them upfront about your migraines, I'm sure you can find a job that will understand.
And what happens if I get a migraine on the days I have a shift? That will make it impossible to work. I'm sure that any job will prefer to hire someone who can make it to all their shifts without an issue instead of someone like me.
Then why not look for something that you can do from home? There are a lot of jobs that you can do on the computer these days.
I wonder about that. I don't think I could do any job like that. Remote work is for young people who are good with technology, not old people like me.
Mom, I really didn't want to say this, but if you are really struggling as much as you say you are, then why not go on welfare?
Welfare? Are you kidding me? I would never do that. It would be so embarrassing if people found out I was on welfare.
There's nothing wrong with being on welfare, and if you can't work because of your health, then there's nothing else for you to do. But you do still have money from Dad's inheritance and pension, so you might not qualify. You should ask somebody about it, and even if you don't qualify for it, they can help you find another way to improve your financial situation.
I don't even want to go to any center for a discussion. What if people see me go inside?
I don't think anyone will care about that at all. It has nothing to do with them. I'm married and have a kid, you know, and Lily will be going into elementary school soon, so I will have to start paying for that too. I can't always just be giving you money. I also have to think about saving for the future. Lily will go to college one day, and I need to be prepared in case of an emergency too.
But you have a good job and salary. Why are you saying that you don't have enough money to help me?
My job doesn't pay as well as you seem to think. I'm just an ordinary office worker. And if you keep asking me for money, it doesn't matter how much I try to save, it'll never be enough.
Then why doesn't your wife get a job too?
We talked about this last time. Sophie is pregnant right now.
Pregnant women can still work. I always see people even in the later stages working. She could just get a part-time job with not that many hours. That would be something at least. She's still young after all.
You say that you can't even do that because of your migraines. But you're going to be telling me that my pregnant wife should be working?
That's because pregnancy isn't a sickness.
That doesn't matter. Stop talking like this. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, but I really am in need of money. This can be the last time, but please help me out.
How many times do you think I've heard that it'll be the last time? I can't help you any more than I have already.
Please, Ben. I promise this time really will be the last time.
If that's the case, I want you to think about what you're going to do so you don't need to borrow any more from me. If you find a way that you can bring in some money on your own, then I will think about lending you some more. You're still only in your 50s. If you want to work, it shouldn't be that hard to find something.
Okay, I got it. I will find a part-time job then.
Will you really?
Yes, I promise. So this month, can you lend me about $500? You know that you're the only family left. I can't ask anybody else but you.
Okay, fine. I'll transfer you the money. But I'm going to check back in a week to see if you found a job. We can talk about that then.
Oh, thank you, Ben. That's fine. I'll decide what I'm going to do within the week.
Mom, how is work going? Is everything okay?
Well, it's not too bad, I guess. It's just data entry, so it shouldn't be too much of a strain. It's just pressing a bunch of keys all day. But even so, my eyes hurt from looking at a screen all day, and my shoulders get stiff so quickly. It's more of a strain than you might think.
That would be the same for anyone, though. I'm sure you will get used to it the more you do it. But if you can make about $500 working there on the side, you should be fine with all your expenses, right?
I wonder if $500 will really be enough. I haven't made anything at all yet. I keep asking myself whether there's even a point in doing this job at all.
Well, you've only just started. It's important to just keep going and things will get better.
Hey, Ben, would you be able to send me some money this month too?
What? Why? You said that last time would be the actual last time.
I know that, but I won't get paid for at least another month.
What am I supposed to do about this month? You have a house, so you don't need to pay anything urgent like rent. Plus, if you still have money from the inheritance, the bigger problem is that you still can't get by somehow despite all of that.
I've been telling you there are things I need that take a lot of money.
Can't you just find some way to economize this month and make it through until you get paid?
No, otherwise I wouldn't be asking you.
Don't tell me that you've already spent all of Dad's inheritance.
No, I haven't done that. But I'm thinking about my real old age and I don't want to use it.
I understand that, but it's there to be used.
Can I get you to send me $800 this month?
No, I won't. I told you that already. I'm going to have a lot more expenses than I've had up until now very soon. Sophie and I need to start paying for Lily's school supplies and fees. And I have a second baby on the way. I can't just be handing out money to you.
Oh, Ben, come on. Help your mother out.
No, not this time. I think I've spoiled you too much up until now. Things can't keep going on as they have been. This month, you have to try and figure things out on your own.
Then how about I pay for Lily's school supplies and fees?
What's the point in that? If you have money to buy those, then just use the money for yourself.
Well, that's not quite what I mean. I mean that I will start to pay you back the money you've given me so far, so you can use that to pay for her.
You're really going to do that? You haven't returned a single cent up until now.
Of course I will. That's why I started working. Plus, I haven't even been able to do anything for Lily, even though she's my granddaughter. I felt so bad about that the whole time.
I see. But even so, I'll just accept the intention. I want you to take a look at your lifestyle and see what needs to be changed, so that you can live by your own means.
But Lily's school fees for her first year at school only come once, right? I would like to be the one to pay for that as her grandmother.
Even if you say something like that, it's still a no. This time, I really can't give you anything. This has happened just too often.
But I'm begging you, Ben. You know that you're the only family member who I can ask.
I know that. You always say that. But I want you to try and see things from my point of view. If you plan on continuing to borrow money from me like this, I might need to reevaluate our relationship as mother and son.
What do you mean by reevaluate? Do you mean you're going to sever ties with me?
That's something that I have honestly thought about before. I just really want you to fix the way that you use money. You can't just always rely on me to bail you out.
Oh, I understand. I'll stop asking.
I'm sorry, Mom, but it's just been too much.
Then at least let me pay for Lily's things for school.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
But I want to give her something as her grandma. Let me do this at least.
Even though you're here asking me for money?
Oh, it will be fine. I'll get things ready, okay?
Sophie, how was the checkup today?
Everything was good. The baby is healthy.
That's good to hear. It's Lily's first day of school next month. Do you think you'll be able to attend the ceremony?
I think I will. The baby is due next month, but it should be okay. I wanted to talk to you about the things Cindy sent us.
Right. They arrived then? Sorry, I didn't mention anything, but Mom wanted to send some school supplies for Lily.
Yeah, they arrived, but I took them to the police.
What? Why the police?
I think all the supplies that she sent us were stolen.
Are you kidding me? Why do you think that?
I just happened to hear a story about a girl who got her backpack stolen from a park with all of her things inside it.
Okay, but why would that mean the things Mom sent are stolen?
Nothing was in its packaging and had all been wrapped up just in newspaper. It's not for certain, but it seems strange to send things like that if she had just bought them.
Oh, seriously? I'm so sorry. So what did the police say?
They said that they'll look into it, but that there's not really much they can do. I only just handed them in, so I guess they will contact me later. Ben, this time is really too much. I've tried to be really patient with Cindy up until now, but...
I know. I'm really sorry about this.
I know that it's not your fault. Don't think that I blame you for this, but I can't defend Cindy's actions at all.
No, you're right. I should have been more strong with her before. I'm sorry that it had to come to this. Let me know as soon as the police contact you.
Ben, did the school supplies arrive?
Yeah, they did.
I hope Lily likes them.
I wonder.
Oh, what do you mean? She didn't like them? What did she say?
Mom, what did you have in mind when you sent that?
What do you mean? I just wanted to do something for my granddaughter. But in the end, it all cost quite a lot. So because of that, sorry, but could you send me a bit of money after all?
I told you that I'm not sending you any more. Did you think that I would send you more money just because you sent Lily some supplies?
No, of course not.
Anyway, where are you right now?
Oh, what do you mean? I'm at home working on the computer.
No, you're not. I'm there right now.
Oh, really? Well, actually, I'm out because I'm going to meet a friend.
Then why did you lie to me?
Oh, I just thought you would have something to say if I wasn't at home working. But I'm just out today to get coffee with a friend.
That's also a lie, isn't it?
You're going to see your favorite singer live, aren't you? What? What are you talking about?
I asked the neighbors, and they said that you went upstate for a concert. Plus, you have a whole lot of merch here in your house. What is this? Have you been using all of the money I sent you for this?
Well, none of that stuff is really that expensive. It's fine to blow off a little steam every now and then, surely.
And the concert tickets, and the trip upstate, is that also not that expensive? And judging by all the ticket stubs here, you've been going to a concert at least once a month. I can't believe you've been messing around like this.
Oh, this is my one and only hobby. Are you going to tell me that I can't even enjoy myself?
If you have no money, then you should at least reel it in. And the stuff that you sent to Lily, that was all stolen, wasn't it?
What? Of course not.
There was a girl recently who got her backpack stolen with all of her school things inside it.
Oh, so what? That doesn't mean that what I sent you was stolen.
The bag you sent wasn't in a box or in any packaging, and it definitely had signs of use too. You definitely did not buy these things new.
The packaging was just getting in the way, so I threw it away before I sent it. You guys would have had to throw it away anyway.
But you just sent it in a random cardboard box?
Why does that matter? I had it lying around, so I sent the bag in that. The bag is perfectly fine.
Maybe at first glance, the girl who used it before was only in her first years, so of course she hadn't used it that much yet, and it is still in fairly good condition. But her name is on it.
What? Whose name?
The girl from whom you stole the bag. You might not have noticed it because it was on the inside of the main pocket and not on the outside of the bag.
What? There must be some kind of mistake.
I wish that it was a mistake, but it clearly isn't. But we took everything to the police, and they confirmed that the name matched the girl who had had her bag stolen recently. So, what are you going to do? Keep lying to me?
Oh, I'm sorry, Ben.
So you admit it then?
I just really wanted to give Lily a present before she started school.
Even so, do you think any of us would be happy to get something that you stole from someone else? Thankfully, it wasn't a student at the school Lily is going to go to. But what if it was? Imagine what would have happened to Lily if that girl realized that Lily came to school with her bag that had been stolen before and started spreading rumors. Lily might have been bullied or viewed badly. And in the first place, stealing is bad, especially from a child. What were you thinking?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean anything bad by it.
How could that be? There's nothing good about what you have done.
But it's better than stealing from a store, right?
It doesn't matter where or who you stole it from. Stealing is stealing. How could you steal it from a little kid who had put it down to play in the park? What was going through your mind?
Oh, I'm sorry, Ben. I'm really sorry.
You should be apologizing to the girl who you stole it from, not me. You should just go and own up to what you did, and maybe things won't end up as badly for you.
What, I need to turn myself in? And what's going to happen to me? Will they arrest me?
I doubt that they will arrest you, but they might make you pay a fine at least.
Oh, what should I do? I wonder if the neighbors will find out about this. I don't want there to be rumors spread about me.
I guess you really do only care about yourself. You're not thinking at all about how we, or the girl whose bag it is, feels.
But the girl got all of her things back, didn't she? And it doesn't have that much of an effect on you and Sophie.
That's it. I'm going to have nothing more to do with you.
What? Why does that have to happen? If you cut ties with me now, I won't be able to survive on my own.
If you stop wasting your money on your hobby, then you'll be fine. Stop acting so spoiled.
Ben, I'm sorry. I promise I won't do anything like this again. It was just a spur-of-the-moment thing.
I don't want to hear your excuses. They're not going to satisfy me anyway.
I won't ask you for any more money. Oh, please, just don't abandon me. In truth, I don't have any left of your father's inheritance either.
I thought that might be the case, but it has nothing to do with me anymore. You brought this on yourself.
I'm so sorry.
I knew that you had no one else to rely on except for me, so I tried to be as patient as I could. But I can't do it anymore. You wasted all of the money from Dad, and even went so far as to commit a crime? I can't think of you as my mother anymore.
But I have no one left except for you. Oh, don't leave me all alone like this. I'll change and I'll stop wasting my money, I promise.
I wish you could have done that a little earlier. Just because we're related doesn't mean that I have to put up with just anything. I've done all I could to help you up until now, but I've had enough. We're not family anymore, so you need to figure out how to live by yourself without relying on anyone. After that, Mom went to the police and told them that she was the one who had stolen the bag from the girl. She met with the family and ended up resolving the situation. They felt bad for her because of her age and didn't try to press charges or anything like that, especially since the stolen things had been returned. Later, my mom had to move to a small apartment so that she would be able to pay the rent and had to stop indulging in her hobby so much. For a while, she continued to call me over and over again, hoping that I would pick up, but I never did. The last I heard about her was that she was continuing her data entry job at home and barely leaves the house because she feels so ashamed about what she did and doesn't want anyone she knows to see her. The girl who had had her bag stolen went to a school in the next district to where Lily was supposed to be going next year, but we changed the school to one a little further away, just in case some rumors did start to spread. It would be horrible for Lily to go to a school where the other students were talking about how her grandmother had stolen a bag from another student. It isn't easy to abandon your own mother based on their actions, but there was nothing else I could have done. I put up with her and her actions for long enough, and in the end, this was the only way things could end. I feel bad in a way for how things ended up, but at the same time, she brought this all on herself and got what she deserved. From now on, I hope she can reflect on her behavior and change at least a little. Now that I don't have to constantly lend her money, my own family's daily life has improved significantly, and we can live without worrying too much about expenses. I thoroughly apologized to my wife for letting things go on as long as they had, and thankfully, she forgave me. From now on, as the foundation of the family, as a husband, and as a father, I will make sure to focus on those who are truly important to me and work to help them live their lives happily.
Sup, Demi? I was supposed to be going over to my parents' place next week, but would you mind watching the house instead?
If that's what you want, honey. I feel like I owe you an apology, though.
Why are you apologizing? I'm the one asking you. It's fine, really. It can't be helped.
But I've barely been to your parents' house at all ever since we got married. I can't help but feel I should have made more of an effort. I'm sorry, honey.
It's cool, they really don't mind. They understand the situation, babe. They don't hold it against you. It's my big sister who's the problem. You don't have anything to apologize for.
Okay, thank you.
But damn, she really is a pain in my backside. I feel like she's had it in you since the day you met. Do you have any idea what her problem is? Has she ever said anything to you about why she gives you such a hard time?
Nope. I could count the number of times I've met her on one hand. I can't think of any reason why she'd be so hostile towards me. I've always tried to be polite and friendly with her. I guess she just doesn't like me. Like you said, she's been cool towards me ever since day one.
I'm so sorry for all the crap she gives you, Demi. You don't deserve it. I'm gonna try speaking to her.
It's fine. You really don't have to do that. I appreciate the thought, but we virtually never see each other, so even if she does hate me, it's like, meh, whatever.
But still, it's not fair that you have to stay home every time I visit my parents' place just because of my sister and her mystery grudge against you. My parents would love to see you more. To tell you the truth, I'm sick and tired of her.
You know, this got me thinking. What was she like with your ex-wife? Was she like this with her too?
My ex-wife? Nope. She was nothing like this. I never noticed any signs of trouble at all. I don't know what's gotten into her. She accepted my ex-wife. She behaved like you'd expect any normal human being to behave back then.
You said the reason you two divorced was because your personalities didn't match, right? Did your sister have anything to do with it?
Nope, nothing at all. I hate to tell you this, Demi, but they got on like a house on fire. They were virtually inseparable. Our divorce was entirely down to us not being a good match. There was no third-party involvement.
I knew it. I must have done something to upset her. That must be why she hates me.
No, sorry. Maybe I made it sound like that just now. But you didn't, I'm sure of it. You've done nothing wrong, so you better not go feeling guilty or searching for reasons why this is your fault, because it ain't. My sister's just being a dick, and that's all there is to it. Chill out and don't let her get to you, okay, babe?
I hope you're right.
You bet I'm right. This is absolutely, undoubtedly 100% not your fault. Besides, my mom and dad are always singing your praises like it's no one's business. They think you're so amazing that they never hesitate to tell me how they think you're out of my league every time I see them. They seem confused by the fact I managed to bag myself such an incredible wife. So just forget about it. You haven't done anything wrong.
Wow, they say that about me? That's sweet, but I'm really not that special.
Don't be silly. You were kind enough to marry a balding divorcee like me. You're pretty damn special in my eyes. Not only that, but your cooking's to die for.
You're not balding? Well, okay, fine. Maybe just a little. But really, it makes me so happy to hear you say that. Thanks, Dom. Okay, we're gonna have to change the subject now. I think I'm about to cry. Damn, I feel so vulnerable tonight.
You're probably just tired. I bet that's the only reason you're so bothered about my sister. Anyway, it's settled. I'll stay over at my folks' place on my own next week. You should enjoy some you time, babe. You work hard. You deserve to relax and decompress every now and then.
I might just do that.
Demi, I'm so sorry to spring this on you out of nowhere, but is there any way you can make it to my parents' house right now?
Huh? What? Like right now?
Yeah, there's something important we need to discuss with you.
Your sister's there, isn't she? I'm not sure if this is a good idea. Can't we do it over the phone?
Look, I know it's not fair of me to come at you out of the blue like this and understand exactly how you must feel, but my mom and dad want to speak to you in person. Apparently, it's about my sister.
What about your sister? Could it be that they want to talk about the way she treats me?
Right, that. I get the feeling that they've been looking the other way and pretending it wasn't going on this whole time. They always had a vague apprehension that there was anonymity there, but neither of them ever mentioned it to her. You know, because she's family and all. They probably didn't want to cause a row. I think my mom and dad tried to convince themselves it wasn't a big deal, that it would solve itself in time.
I guess that makes sense. It's true, no one's ever said anything to her about her inexplicably rude attitude towards me. So your parents didn't want to rock the boat, huh?
Right, but I knew it couldn't go on like this. So I told my mom everything and sat her down with my sister. Like I mentioned just now, it turns out they had a feeling there was bad blood between you. She actually seemed relieved when I told her, and she was happy to help me try and get to the bottom of it.
I see.
Let's face it, even if they did stick their heads in the sand, there's no way they could claim ignorance when I confronted them with it. My sister never even tried to hide it. Back in the early days when you used to come here, she was so rude and disrespectful, constantly making snide remarks and poking fun at you. Then when you finally stopped because it all got too much, she said if you had the nerve to show up again, she'd give you the marching orders. I told her it ends now.
You did? What did she say?
She said she wants to apologize to you.
Your sister wants to apologize to me? Are you joking?
She actually seems remorseful. This is the first time anyone's ever called her out on it, so maybe it gave her a genuine pause for thought? I don't know. But she's the one who said she wants to apologize. No one is making her. Looks like things are finally going to improve from here on out.
I see. Thanks so much, Dom. I'm so grateful to you and your parents for getting together and doing something about it.
No, if anything, I should be apologizing because it took me so long. I should have done this ages ago.
They are your family. I get that this wasn't exactly an easy conversation to have. I'm super grateful you did this for me, honey.
Does that mean you'll come?
After everything that's happened, it might not be so easy for me to believe she's being genuine. So I can come, but I can't say whether or not I'll be able to trust her. Is that alright?
Of course, it's only natural you'd feel that way. I'm her brother, and I can't even say I trust her 100% myself. It's normal that you'd have reservations after everything she's done to you. I'm not gonna condemn you for that.
But is this really a good idea? Is it really okay to accept an apology when I feel like this? If she does really mean it, I feel like it'd be kinda unfair towards her.
She's the one who's been treating you unfairly, babe. You don't have anything to feel bad about. She should know it's gonna take time for you to forgive her. Won't you at least hear out her apology and consider what she has to say? You don't have to forgive her straight away, or ever if you don't want to.
Okay. I can't promise we'll be best buds after this. But if she says she wants to apologize, I'll hear her out.
Great, I really appreciate this, Demi. Hopefully we can all start moving in a positive direction together now.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Anyway, I'm gonna start heading out to your parents' place now. It'll take me about 2 hours. Is that okay?
Sure thing. Remember to drive safe, though. You don't have to rush on our behalf.
Demi, where are you right now?
Huh? Addison, you've never messaged me before. This is a little surprising.
Forget about that. Where are you right now?
I just stopped by the convenience store near your mom and dad's house. I was just about to message John to let him know I'm close by. I'll be there in about 10 minutes.
Ugh, so you really are on your way here. I'm so sorry about this, but you have to go back. Dome told me you were coming to my parents' house today. You absolutely must not come. You need to go back home, now.
Huh? But why? Is it because you still don't like me? Was all that stuff about you wanting to apologize a lie?
I see, so that's how he did it? He told you I was going to apologize, did he? What dirty, underhanded tactics! I can't believe it! Did you hear me? You're not to come here under any circumstances. Go home! If you come, they'll never let you leave.
What? What's that supposed to mean? I really thought me and you could finally mend fences and start getting along. Why are you doing this? Is the thought of meeting me that unbearable to you? Do you hate me that much?
I understand you're cautious about me. After all, why wouldn't you be? I'm the one who's been treating you awfully all this time.
It's only natural that you hate me, and I don't blame you. So you're actually aware that you've been horrible to me? In that case, why would you do this now? None of this makes any sense.
I'm doing this to protect you. I don't expect you to believe me after how cold and heartlessly I've treated you this whole time, but it's the truth. I want you to listen to what I'm about to say very carefully. You must not come to my parents' house under any circumstances.
How can you expect me to unquestionably do what you say despite Dom asking me to come? He's my husband, and you're my bully and arch nemesis, apparently. The least you could do is give me an explanation. How am I supposed to make a judgment if I don't even know the reason? I've been driving for nearly 2 hours to see you guys, and now you're suddenly telling me to go back?
I want to tell you more than anything, Demi. Really, I do, but it's complicated. Even if I did explain right now, I doubt you'd understand.
What are you saying I should do then? Blindly accept what you're saying without so much as a hint of an explanation for these crazy claims you're making? You're asking too much of me here, Addison. This is ridiculous.
I understand that, but I can't let you come here.
This is pointless. If you want to talk to me, you can talk to me when I arrive in the presence of my husband, okay?
No, not okay. Just wait. How many times do I have to tell you? You must not come to this house. I'm serious. You said you're at the convenience store near the house, right?
Right. What of it?
Okay, I'm gonna slip away while no one's looking. I'll come to the store and we can discuss this in person. But whatever you do, do not come to this house. I'm begging you. I'll tell you all about why coming here would be the biggest mistake of your life, and I'll prove it too.
Me in person? Just me and you?
I understand you're apprehensive, but it's not like I'm trying to lure you into some kind of trap. Besides, we'll be out in public, where everyone can see us. I just want you to know the truth, that's all. Once I've told you everything, you can decide what to do for yourself. I just can't let you come here without knowing everything first, okay?
Got it. But just so you know, if I'm not convinced by whatever it is you've got to say, I'll be going to your parents' place, just like Dom asked me to.
Fine, and that'll be your prerogative. All I ask is that you don't rush into it without knowing what's actually going on. Thank you, Demi. Alright, sit tight at the store. I won't be long. I'm leaving right now.
Demi, are you there? Please respond to my messages. Please will you come back, baby? Me and my parents aren't angry with you for running away. I swear we just want you back. Surely it's not fair of you to pull a vanishing act like this all of a sudden without even so much as an explanation. Did I do something wrong?
Sorry it took me a while to get back to you. I had a lot of preparations to make. You must have been really worried about me.
Is this really you, Demi?
Is it really me? It's my phone number, isn't it? What do you think I am? Some kind of imposter?
Right, of course. I'm so pleased to finally hear from you. Anyway, are you okay? Are you safe? My sister is nowhere to be seen either. Me and my parents are beside ourselves with worry.
Me and Addison are both fine. Or rather, we've been together the whole time.
You're with my sister? Are you okay?
Yup, just peachy. Forget that. I have something far more important to discuss with you. You ready for it?
Ready for what? I mean, sure. What is it? Hang on, Demi. Can't this wait a little longer? Won't you just stop by to see my parents first? They're really excited to see you. We've been so worried about you both. It wouldn't hurt to show your faces for a few minutes, right? Mom and Dad haven't been sleeping or eating properly. This whole thing is really wreaking havoc on their mental health. Seeing your faces again would put their minds at rest.
I don't think that's a good idea. Besides, why would I? Me and you were getting a divorce after all.
What the hell? What did you just say? Wait, is my phone bugging out?
I said me and you are getting a divorce, so I won't be coming to your parents' house. It should go without saying I have no intentions of meeting them.
Whoa, slow down a sec. What the hell are you talking about, divorce? Why we get a divorce? Why are you springing divorce on me all of a sudden? Did I do something wrong?
Not yet, but you did plan on it, didn't you?
What's that supposed to mean? I want an explanation.
Your sister Addison told me everything. She saved my life. She told me all about your ex-wife Gina, and the real reason she divorced you.
The real reason she divorced me? I told you, babe, it was because we weren't cut out to be together. It was nothing dramatic, I swear. I already explained all this, don't you remember? We divorced because our personalities weren't a good match. There was no other reason.
I wish that were true, because if it was, we could have stayed together. But that won't be happening now I know what I know. I don't want to become the next Gina.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Are you feeling okay? Did you hit your head? I barely recognize you anymore, Demi. Me and Gina divorced for the same boring, conventional reasons most other couples do. I have no idea what she's doing these days, but other than the stress of the divorce, she seemed just fine when we went our separate ways. I'm sure she's doing great.
Sure she is, if you call having a nervous breakdown and living in a psych ward for 3 months great. She's out now, but she got institutionalized because of what you and your mom did to her. Did you know?
Whoa, what the? Wait, how do you know that?
Because your sister rushed out to meet me on the day I was supposed to be coming to your parents' house. She told me everything. She told me how you and your mom forced your ex-wife to be your live-in slave.
Huh? What the hell kind of moronic bullcrap is this? You're not seriously telling me you believe my sister, are you? I've never heard such a pile of bunk in my life. Did you forget how my sister treated you? Did you forget about how much she made you suffer? Gina's a stranger to me and my family now. How the hell would my sister know what was going on with her after all this time? Addison's just playing her twisted games like always. You shouldn't even give her the time of day. I bet she feels so pleased with herself for tricking you like this. Don't let her spoil things between us with her sick schemes.
You seem pretty desperate to convince me. Did I hit the nail on the head?
Like hell you did! No, and no, you couldn't be more wrong. All I'm doing is telling you you've been had. She cooked up some outlandish story to drive a wedge between us and you fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Don't believe a word she says.
It wasn't just words. She showed me proof of what you guys did to Gina.
Proof? What are you talking about? How can you prove something that never happened? More lies! She probably faked a bunch of stuff to trick you, and you were actually gullible enough to fall for it.
Apparently Gina had reached her physical and emotional limit by the time she divorced you. She was barely eating, barely sleeping. Even talking was difficult. A shadow of her former self, to quote your sister. It's true, isn't it?
What are you talking about? I don't have a freaking clue what you're trying to accuse me of here.
Don't play dumb. She was physically and emotionally broken. She got carried away in an ambulance and admitted to the hospital the day before the divorce. You probably thought you'd get away with it because she would have been too ill to collect any evidence, didn't you? And even if she did accuse you of anything, you could have just called her crazy.
Stop with this crap right now! What the hell has gotten into you all of a sudden? Are you so desperate to paint me as a villain that you'd make up vicious lies about me?
I'm not trying to paint you as anything. That's what you are. It's true, Gina was in too much of a bad shape to gather any proof on you back then. But your sister was keeping records of everything you were doing to her the whole time. Which is why there are mountains of evidence of your sick, immoral, illegal treatment of your ex-wife, and I've seen all of it.
Wait, what? My sister?
She knew that when Gina regained her strength, there was a chance she'd want to press charges against you. So she kept records of anything she thought might help her case.
Well, she didn't end up pressing charges, did she? So, ha! If I'm such a monster, surely she would have gone to the cops. If it's like you say and there's mountains of evidence of all this stuff I supposedly did, I would have been thrown in jail way back. The fact I'm a free man means you're lying.
Gina was completely broken when you were done with her. You caused that poor woman unimaginable levels of trauma that she'll be dealing with for the rest of her life. She doesn't want to remember you or your parents again for as long as she lives, and going through a court case would mean dragging up all those painful memories. Instead of taking revenge and pressing charges, she chose to keep her distance and try to forget about you. You can hardly blame her for that.
In that case, why the hell has my sister been living at my mom and dad's house all this time? If she hated us so much that she gathered proof of all this stuff we were supposedly doing behind our backs, why didn't she just get away from us?
She was waiting for Gina to make her decision. The last thing she wanted was to open up all those old wounds by rushing her. And she thought that if she stayed at the house, she might be able to gather extra evidence by eavesdropping on the off chance you guys ever talked about what you did.
Okay, then why did she bully you? You do remember how horrible she was to you, don't you? How the heck can you be so pally with your abuser all of a sudden? Think about it, she treated you exactly how you claim me and my folks treated Gina. Except we definitely know she bullied you, but with my ex-wife, all you have is baseless speculation.
She did what she did to protect me.
Which part of bullying counts as protecting you? Have you actually listened to what you're saying right now? It's crazy! She went out of her way to hurt you as much as possible.
The only reason she bullied me was so I would stay away from your parents' house. She wanted to stop me from meeting the same fate as Gina. You have no idea how much finding all this out has hurt me, Dom. But it would have been far worse if your twisted plan came to fruition. She knew what was in store for me, and she took action in the only way she knew how. It's over. You won't get your way now. Gina's pressing charges against you.
Whoa, wait a sec. Did you just say Gina's pressing charges?
We met up, and after a long discussion, she came to a decision. She was going to keep quiet, but after finding out you were planning on doing the exact same thing to someone else, she knew you had to be stopped. It's over, Dom.
Do not screw around, Demi. Does that stupid bitch seriously think I'll let her get away with this? Just because she was so damn lazy that we couldn't find any use for her anymore, does not mean she has the right to come after me. She will pay.
Finally, your true colors. You're despicable. The most despicable person I've ever met.
You shut your whore mouth! Do you have any idea how difficult things were for us after she got admitted to hospital? Do you have any idea how hard we had to work to find a replacement for her? And she's pressing charges against me? Do not make a fool of me!
No one needs to make a fool of you. You're obviously capable of behaving like a moron all by yourself. How many years of Gina's and Addison's lives have you and your parents wasted with your sick modern-day slavery operation? As if that wasn't enough for you, you planned on taking me captive as your next victim.
So what if we did? It was my ex-wife's own dumb fault for not figuring it out, and it would have been yours too.
You're right. It's important to figure things out, isn't it? Like figuring out that if you kidnap and hold someone captive, wasting years of their life and destroying their physical and mental health in the process, there will be consequences. You guys didn't figure that out. And now you're gonna pay the price by suffering just as much as you made her. After Gina rose to action to prevent her disturbed ex-husband and his parents from claiming another victim, she found out that it was possible to claim compensation up to 3 years after the finalization of the divorce. She took her case to civil court, where word of dastardly Dom and crew's abhorrent misdeeds finally came to light in front of a judge, and they were finally exposed to the world. To clarify, what was important here wasn't necessarily winning the case, but to expose the three of them publicly for what they did. The case was so sensational, it made its way onto national news, after which Dom and his parents became notorious as that psycho family who kidnapped their daughter-in-law, thus turning them into despised social outcasts. Thankfully, as a result, the chances of them finding more victims is slim. While victory wasn't the main goal, it was of course desirable that they win the case. Addison's diligent evidence gathering and Gina's first-hand witness testimony proved to be an unbeatable combination, and the case was won without issue, thus cementing both the destruction of Dom and Co.'s reputation and the compensation payments. After Dom's co-workers, along with the rest of the county, saw the piece on national news, he became a pariah at work and soon felt so unwelcome he had no choice but to hand in his resignation. At the same time, the town rumor mill began operating at full capacity, and before long, the three of them became neighborhood outcasts, the butt of every joke, and the targets of every disdainful glare. They wanted to move away more than anything, out of the country if possible. But between Dom losing his job, owning thousands in monthly compensation payments, and his parents already being well past retirement age, the reality of their circumstances weighed down on them too heavily, and now they have no choice but to continue living in a neighborhood in which they were universally hated and constantly talked about behind their backs. I can't see them finding another victim anytime soon.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.